What, we have to crouch? Can't we put it on the tripod? Wow, that's so professional.
That does look good. Okay.
Wow, okay.
Should I not wear my jacket?
Well,
I gotta turn the heat if I don't wear my jacket. Or I can put on a sweater.
Yeah, why don't you put on a sweater?
Alright, I'll put on a sweater. What's up guys? Welcome back to our channel. Today we're doing a little bit of a different style vidster. We're doing a Q&A. You guys seem to like the Q&As. We had a lot of Q's about Mexico. Hopefully we have a lot of A's. I'm not sure. But we'll do our best to answer it and hope you enjoy.
Yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar, we're Eamon and Beck. We just spent almost 2 months driving down from Toronto, Canada to all the way to like Oaxaca, the coast of Mexico.
Had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Eamon took to his Instagram, which is at a.mon.
Ooh, cheeky shout out.
You're welcome, buddy.
Atta girl.
If you'd like to follow me as well, I'm at Rebecca Maroney. They'll both be linked below and right here.
Sure.
Anyways, I think I'd like to just start the Q&A, if it's okay, with a little chat really briefly about how we felt pre-going into Mexico.
I think that's a good idea.
And how nervous we were, and all of these things that were probably a little subconscious. Like, you were in this mood and I could tell you were just nervous and really scared. But
yeah, I mean, like, you talk to anybody about going to Mexico, at least in Canada or North America, like, you get brainwashed by the media. All you see on the media is kidnapped here, stabbed here, robbed here. So they love to highlight and spin Mexico as a dangerous place. Now that doesn't mean that it's not dangerous. Like, there definitely are cartels, the narcos are there, there's a lot of crime. So that always kind of sits in the back of your mind.
We can tell you as much as we want about how great of an experience we had, but everyone's experience is different.
People are generally really good, and
yeah.
Mexico's no different.
Yeah, we've been saying, like, when we catch up with people back home, now that we're back in Toronto, and like everyone goes, did you feel unsafe? Did you feel unsafe?
It's the first question. And
we said we felt way less safe in some of the US cities that we drove through, especially Chicago, and these places that we thought like, oh, it's a big developed city and we'll be fine. But it certainly didn't feel that way. So it almost feels like we've answered a question about safety.
Yeah.
But I just kind of wanted to start it off by saying, like,
disclaimer.
Before we went to Mexico, I wish we had seen a video that chatted about these kinds of things. And hopefully this video, this Q&A, if you're headed there, oh, by the way, did we even tell people that we're in our van? Some people might not know. We drove in our van, in this beautiful van. Let's jump into your specific questions. So again, these are from Eamon's Instagram, and you guys had tons of questions, so we'll start off a little easy. This is from @Life's an Awesome Wave. It's funny when it's all
10, bro.
together, I can't even, okay. So Life's an Awesome Wave asks, how was the heat in your van? I know in your conversion you did not install AC. Was it ever uncomfortable hot? I will be spending a good amount of time in Baja on the beaches, and I'm wondering if I should install an AC unit. Good question.
Great question. I think the first thing that comes to mind is depends on the time of year. So we were lucky, it was kind of a shoulder season, and it wasn't getting into like the rainy, humid, crazy heat that Mexico gets. So be aware at like what point of the year you're traveling. I wouldn't say it was unbearable.
I definitely wouldn't say it's unbearable, but if you watch back some of the videos, I'll link them here. We were kind of, or at least I was struggling in the 40-degree weather. Like, it definitely got hot. What I would say is the days that were really hot, we seemed to be by the beach. Like, those 40-degree days were by the beach. And what we would do is, like, I felt like a kid. We were playing all day. You were out in the water. You have great food with like friends. And then you're so tired by the time it's time to go to bed that even if you are a little uncomfortably hot, you just kind of crash. Yeah. If that makes sense.
I mean, you make do. We've got a fantastic fan, and then we've got like a little rotating fan that kind of, that little rotating fan is almost more key than the fantastic fan.
I think it was.
Yeah, because it just blows, you know, air onto your body as you're sleeping. So
we didn't
I don't think AC is that key. And if we had the same amount of power usage, I wouldn't want to not make a smoothie in the blender or not have power to charge my laptop because I wanted to have AC at night. So you would need a pretty big battery bank to be able to pull that off, I think.
Young and Able. She asks, what precautions did you take to make sure you weren't inviting trouble? So I'll start with this one. I think one of the biggest things that we've done, and especially in our travels, like we've kind of matured throughout it, is that we don't invite trouble like you're saying. So we don't go out and party, we don't stay out past late, we would never drive after dark. All of those little things that I think set you up to get into trouble.
We have tinted windows. Anytime we'd park overnight, we'd put the privacy screen up. You'd make sure that you wouldn't have any like camera equipment or anything in the front. You just don't want to invite an invitation. Even when we first got into Mexico, I put black duct tape on the Mercedes logos. Like that's how kind of paranoid, if you want to call it that, I was. Because these people don't have a lot of money, and if they are criminals, then you're just giving them an invitation. So you just want to stay incognito. I do this to all my cameras because it just, once again, adds a little bit of discreetness. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I cover up all the brand names. So the Canon logo, I do that on the Canon, the GH5. It's just, once again, people see Canon, they think expensive. So
this is from Mrs. Brooke, or yeah, Mrs. Brooke. She says, would you change any planning if you went to Mexico for a Mexico trip 2.0? If you wouldn't change anything, what would be the things and places, experiences you would go back to? Like that you would just double down on and you're so excited to get back to? First things first is we definitely plan on going back to Mexico. Absolutely, 150%. I think for me, just quickly speaking, as much as I've loved so many of the places that we've been in Mexico, it's not that I wouldn't want to go back there, it's just that I feel like the world is so big and there's so much to explore, and I'm so excited to see more of it. When we hung out with Max and Lee, they spent almost 2 months in Baja, which we had always kind of thought, oh, everyone seems to go to Baja, a lot of van lifers are there, it can't be all that great, but it sounds like if you really give it time, you can discover some amazing places in Baja.
They loved it.
You fart?
No, but I might have burped a little bit. Jesus. Why can't you just pretend and just take it?
Because if I inhale it, I have to say something.
Why? You always say something.
I feel like we need to go back to Oaxaca and get a real good coastal vacation out of it, because we only spent maybe 5 days in that area and it was so incredible. So I might go back to some of the exact same spots, but I would definitely want to do more in that area.
Yeah, like we haven't touched Tulum, that whole coast. So.
Oh, the Yucatan is like a whole other trip. Like there's so much to do.
A lot of questions about the language barrier and speaking Spanish. We had, I think, 3 months when we were in South America. So we learned a little bit of Spanish there, but like really not much. But it's amazing, like once you have that little bit, it is sort of a base. But I think, to be honest, you'd figure it out. Like the technology is so amazing now with Google Translate and stuff like that. You know, we basically bought a whole new engine and communicated a tow truck to pick us up in Mexico and pull us through the border. Like that was pretty complicated. So
something I will say about that, yeah, is
but you will enjoy it a lot more if you do know Spanish.
Yeah, but also like learning is part of the journey. So there's so many comments like use Google Translate, or that it was either that or I can't believe you don't know Spanish, and it was like we're on this journey of learning together, and the Google Translate thing felt like a bit of a cop-out, obviously in the big situations you need it, but it's also really fun to get your feet wet and completely mess up, but try, and that's where we stand on learning. It
adds a whole level of adventure versus like a country where you just speak English. Like it's so easy. Sorry mates, we lost you there. Man, these batteries are getting a lot worse in this G7X. Okay, let's continue our thoughts.
At Paloma Quesada.
Paloma Quesada.
Hey, was wondering what the price differences are when it comes to food, fuel, and just things in general. Also, how easy or hard was it to be vegan? Thanks for sharing your
So fuel on par, basically similar.
Was it?
And yeah. And you want to be careful that, you know, people aren't ripping you off at the gas station. So a lot of you guys actually message us saying make sure you like watch them when they reset the meter.
In terms of food and fruit, I think the greatest thing about van life in Mexico was that we cooked almost every single meal. So the only time you guys really saw us eating out was when we didn't have our van because it was in the shop, or if we just wanted to try something and weren't feeling like cooking, which was so rare. So we would go to fruterias and tortillerias and...
Tortilleria.
I think it's tortilleria.
Tortilla.
Oh, there's 2 L's, but that's a Y sound in
Tortilleria.
Tortilleria. Yeah, going to the fruterias is such a great cheap, viable option, and it's awesome for vegans because you just want fresh fruit and veg, and so it's amazing. I think we've showed you guys in the video, so go back and watch the series if you haven't already. But we spent maybe 100 pesos to 200 pesos every time we'd go, and we'd get a massive bag with plenty of avocados and all this kind of stuff, and that's maybe around $5 to $10 US. And that would last us for a couple of days.
The third part of that question?
Yeah, the vegan part?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say something about that. Like, I kind of touched on it because we did so much of our own cooking. That wasn't such a stress of ours. But we were very conscious, like at the grocery stores, we'd pick up the cans of beans. We knew that there was often lard and some sort of animal products, even in ones that just said beans and sauce or whatever, or just beans, actually. And we had a lot of messages about tortillas and how they actually have lard in them. So, I mean, maybe we weren't perfect vegans, I don't know.
Yeah, we weren't like asking the tortillerias, hey, is there animal products in there? Like, we're just eating the tortilla, so there might have been. We're horrible vegans. We're horrible people.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
What can you do?
Alexandra Capabianca. Oh, I know you. She was asking, was it difficult to communicate with employees who are working after your business? Since you mentioned before, so basically about Wi-Fi. Yeah, so I actually had my phone on in Mexico. So in Canada, you pay, it was expensive. We paid like $12 a day to roam like home. Shout out to Rogers. Psych. Rogers is horrible.
Do not.
Shut out. So yeah, we got ripped on that, but it was great because I could make phone calls. You have regular service. And I think we would need to do that regardless of anywhere we go, just because we are running a company. But then also, like, we're all YouTubers, so we're constantly looking for Wi-Fi. We're constantly checking our email, so that wasn't really an issue.
Alexa Jane asks, how did you rig up the lady funnel for going #1? I don't remember if you showed it on a story or an episode, but I thought it was such a genius idea. Does it empty to the underside of the van? Materials used? Just the funnel and tube? ? So I'm gonna let you take that one and run, but I will just say that I absolutely love my pea funnel. I think every van lifer needs a pea funnel. It was the greatest thing you've ever installed.
We'd be cooking dinner with the 3 different vans, and we didn't put this in the vlog, she wouldn't let me, but she would literally be wearing a dress and be peeing in front of everyone, and no one even knew. So the funnel is super,
I'm pretty sure I would announce it. I'm like, hey guys, did you know I was peeing?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Super, super easy. Patent pending. We've got a lot of van lifers on that pea funnel game. And it's super simple. It's literally a, have I not shown them? Should I show them?
Yeah,
you guys want to see it?
Yeah. Just quickly while Eamon's moving you, someone asks, Rose Mason wants to know, did you get the tattoo? You did not get the tattoo.
No, unfortunately, guys. Okay, this is the funnel. It's really, really simple. It's just like this funnel and a tube that goes straight through the bottom, and basically you pee through that. That's it. Rebecca just kind of holds it up like that and you pee. And then we just hang it up so it's always like a straight line. It's always dripping down so it won't like pool up in there or anything. And then we have an all natural disinfectant that we disinfect it with every single time so it doesn't smell or anything like that. That's the pee funnel.
Are we gonna return and finish the trip that we had planned? Which was to go through Central America, and I think, ow!
Sorry, can you start again?
Why did you need to do that right now?
It's bothering me.
So just quickly to touch on why we're back, why we didn't continue through Central America. As you guys know by now, we have a company. It's a tea business based out of Toronto called Chai Walla. We sell unique handmade chai, and we go to some shows every year religiously. Actually, when this video goes out live, we're gonna be at both of them. So on Sunday, which is today, we're gonna be at the Toronto Yoga Conference as well as the Toronto Coffee and Tea Show. So it's interesting because there's this idea of van life where you can just kind of travel forever and not have to go back to one spot, and I think there's something really romantic about that, but we also really enjoy the fact that we do have a purpose behind our travel and our business and everything. So we're back to work on our business, which is why we had that 2 months and why we had to come back and cut it short. But in saying that, I think for sure Central America is on the horizon for us, but not probably before what we want to do.
Well, the summer, yeah, I mean the summer is so beautiful to be in Canada and the United States. We want to spend more time on the West Coast. We don't have anything set in stone yet, but Alaska was a really popular suggestion.
That'd be cool.
So maybe up west and then Alaska, and then we got to come back for our busy time of year here. So stay tuned. Are we done? We're wrapping it up?
I think that should be enough.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know.
cool.
But like we said, if you guys have more specific questions about Mexico, van lifing in Mexico, or anything like that, leave them below. We're trying to put together some video ideas that are like really detailed, that are really going to give you the ins and outs on how to do that and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for more content about van life in Mexico, but we thought we'd just throw up this general Q&A, let you guys know that it's safe, the food is good, we're good, what's going on. Come say hi at the shows if you have some time today. We'd love to meet you guys. Is that it?
That's it, dude.
If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hang out doing it. If you did enjoy the video, we would really love to get your feedback. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. This is just the beginning. The adventures are yet to come. Yeah, leave us any questions you've got. Follow us on Instagram. I just can't stop. I just can't stop.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Yeah, but we're not hungry.
Yeah, and probably not before the gym.
No, tell them to cook something else. Middle millennials are coming.
We're excited!
First question they ask is, are you guys hungry? That's how you show we get along with them, Chess.
I know.